Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katarina. Today's video is going to be the introduction to my low buy for 2021. I hope this is going to be like a long-term thing that I keep doing even after next year, but this video specifically focuses on the rules that I do have for my low buy in 2021. So yeah, in this video I want to talk about some of the reasons why I do want to do this low buy, and also I will be telling my rules to you. I decided to film this video a little bit early because I had a beauty budget for the end of this year and I wrapped up my beauty budget already. So I thought, why not film this low buy introduction video just after filming the beauty budget update video, so that it's clear what I do want to do for the next year. That being said, the rest of this year, the rest of 2020, I am going to be on a complete no buy. I don't need to be purchasing anything right now. But yeah, let's talk about some of my reasons why I do want to do a low buy. And if you have been around my channel, you probably know most of these reasons, or maybe all of them, but I still want to go over them in case there's someone new watching. I want it to be clear why I feel it's necessary for me to do a low buy. So the biggest reason, I do have shopping problems. I have just learned that if I don't set any sort of rules to myself what I can purchase and what is okay, I am going to buy whatever I want to. You probably know that 2019 was my beauty replacements only no buy year, and I had really high expectations for my no buy. I really wanted my no buy to fix all of my problems so that after my no buy year I could, purchase normally. But I had to kind of learn the hard way after my no buy year that it doesn't always go like that. My shopping hasn't been as bad this year as it was before my no buy year, but I have been still buying way more what I want to, and I did talk about this in a video that's called The Truth Behind My Makeup Addiction. I will link the video down below. It is a video I filmed in August. I'm talking about some really personal things in that video, so I actually unlisted the video. So the video is still up, but you will need a link to the video, so you can find the link down in the description box of this video if you want to check the video out. I wanted to explain it to you a little bit more, and I do explain it in that video, but sometimes I think because I don't open up on my channel that I may seem to be someone who just completely lacks self-control and who basically changes their mind all the time, and that is kind of like a part of the truth. But in that video I will explain it a little bit more why it is so difficult for me to control my makeup shopping, and that video might give you a little bit more perspective why the makeup shopping got out of control this year. But yeah, the video will be down in the description box. I don't want to, go over the things I talk in that video more in this video, but I do have shopping problems, and in a lot of the categories I have purchased way more what I really wanted to this year. So I feel I need a low buy. I'm not someone who can allow myself to purchase whatever I want to, because I will find all the excuses to purchase way more things what I should. There's a couple of little bit more concrete reasons why I do want to do a low buy, and the first one of these more concrete reasons is that I don't want to let my collection expand. There was a point and time when I had a larger makeup collection. I was storing my makeup collection in an IKEA Alex 5 drawer. Once we moved into the house where we live right now, so we bought this house a year ago. Once we moved here, I bought the Malm vanity from IKEA, and it is a one drawer vanity. So I store there all of my makeup except my eyeshadow palettes and my lip products, and I really want to keep it like that. I don't mind storing my eyeshadow palettes and my lipsticks separately from my vanity drawer, because those things can be visually pleasing to look at, so I like them to be on open shelves. But everything else I want to be in the one drawer vanity. I was working so hard to get there. I was project planning, I was being on a no-buy, and I was so happy when I finally had the One Drawer vanity. I'm at the moment quite pleased with the size of my makeup collection. There's maybe two categories that I don't mind if they grow a little bit, so eyeshadows and lip products, but even with those I do want to be really careful about what I bring in, and I don't want to be bringing in products too quickly, so that I really do have time to work on some of my older stuff, and so that I can test out everything new before I purchase more products, because that was a problem for me like before my no-buy year. I would buy so often new things that I wouldn't even have time to test the previous thing that I had gotten. But other than eyeshadow palettes and lip products, I really don't even want to grow my collection. I'm pretty happy with my collection. I will film a makeup inventory video in January, so there you can see my numbers, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how my collection is at the moment. I do have options. I do still want to have options. I'm not someone who wears the same makeup look every single day, but I don't want to have so much options that it gets overwhelming, especially since makeup expires. We all know that. But yeah, I am someone who gets quite easily overwhelmed, and also I can be naturally quite messy person, so I will leave things where I use them and not put it to its right place. But at the same time, I would love to have a really nicely organized and clean space. And I have found that the more stuff and clutter I do have in my life, the harder it is for me to keep everything nice and organized, and that goes to makeup too. Because of that, I also do want to have quite a limited amount of products. Another reason why I do want to control my shopping is financial reasons, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. At the moment, this doesn't feel as big of a reason to me than just having like a nice and curated collection. But when I think about long-term goals, this totally is a huge factor why I do want to buy less makeup. Just right now, because of COVID, my work situation is again a little bit more tricky and not as secure as it has been before COVID, but you know, I'm doing all right. I don't work in a job that pays well, and because of that I do want to study. I do want to get a degree that allows me to do more things what I'm doing right now. But at the moment I am still working, and we don't have that much expenses with my husband. I do have quite a bit of fun money that I can spend right now, and makeup has been something where I have been spending. Also recently I have been spending the home stuff. Clothing is something where I have been spending throughout the few past years, although during the past year I have been so much better than previously. I know a lot of people who start a no-buy or a low-buy do it mainly for financial reasons. For example, Hannah Louise Poston was really open about the fact that she actually had gone into debt over buying makeup and skincare. She was putting makeup and skincare on her credit card, so she wanted to stop shopping. Because of that, she did want to pay the debt off. Right now I don't have that kind of financial reason why I should do this low buy, but I do have like long-term goals and reasons why I don't want to be spending hundreds of euros to beauty in a month. So first of all, I kind of want to practice being a little bit more frugal, because most likely somewhere in our near future my income is going to be lower what it is right now, and my husband is going to be responsible for the income that comes to our household. I really hope that one day we would have children. Don't know if it's going to be sooner or later. And also I do want to study at one point. I can see myself working a little bit while I am studying, but of course, you know, I cannot work as much if I am studying, because, you know, if I go to school, the school is going to be my main job. But you know, during those times, if I become a mom, if I go back to school, of course I'm not going to be earning the money I do earn right now. So my husband is the one that brings money to our household. I just don't want to be someone who like overspends the money that my husband earns. Right now I can justify buying a new eyeshadow palette because I earned the money myself. But if my husband is the one who earned the money, I mean, no, I cannot justify it the way I can right now. Surely he would purchase me some things like replacement and maybe treat me really rarely with an eyeshadow palette, but you know, I don't think it would be a regular thing at all. But yeah, that is like one reason why I do want to buy less and kind of like practice being a little bit more frugal, because at some point I will be more dependent on the income that my husband earns. And you know, that's a huge blessing. So because of that, I feel it's important for me to try to practice to be a little bit more frugal already. Then if I think about long-term goals, what comes to finances, purchasing new makeup is not going to get me any closer to my real life goals. So if I think about my life when I am 50 years old, and of course you cannot really plan your life, anything could happen, it's still, I feel, important to have dreams and goals that you go towards. So I hope that by then we had paid our home off. Also, a dream that I have been kind of having for a longer time is that when I am a little bit older, I would really love to have an apartment somewhere in Southern Europe where I could go in winter and sometimes even in summer, but especially in winter because winter is really dark and long here in Finland, and sadly nowadays the winter is not even white all the times. Last winter was the first one in my lifetime that we didn't get permanent snow, and it was so depressing. And the sad reality is that most likely there is going to be more and more winters like that, and I don't want to see winters like that, so it would be a dream if I had the choice to, you know, go to somewhere where it's at least sunny. That's a dream. Don't know if it's going to happen. So yeah, these kind of goals I do have for when I am older, so in 20 years. But in 20 years, if I think about what I want to have, I don't think a large makeup collection is something that I want to have, and I don't think makeup is going to be that important to me 10. You know, it's sometimes fun to think about your life and your like long-term goals, and I want to make choices today that will get me closer to these real life goals. So yeah, those are my reasons why I do want to do a low buy. I feel this video is a really long and rambly one, so sorry about that, but you know, it is my low buy reasons and rules video, so I really wanted to explain my reasons. When I talk about these reasons that I have, I can already see how far I have come since I started my no buy year in 2019. Like back then, even a couple of years ago, I was in a complete different mindset about purchasing things and owning things. So I cannot really say that I have forgotten everything after ending my no buy year, but I have taken some steps back. I do have a clear vision where I would love my life to be. I want to work towards my goals, but sometimes I have this year made poor decisions when it comes to purchasing new things. So I feel I need clear rules, and let's actually move on to the rules. So when I was thinking about the rules for my low buy year, I wanted to figure out something that works for my collection, but also isn't too complicated to explain and to understand when I'm talking about my low buy here on my channel. So I came up with a system where I do have 3 different categories what comes to purchases. So a no buy, a replacements only, and then limited purchases. I have put all of the different makeup and beauty categories under one of these low buy categories. And I also decided that I won't be doing a separate beauty budget. I talked about this a little bit in my beauty budget finale video, but with a low buy that is kind of like this strict and where I do have really clear rules what is okay and what is not okay, the beauty spending should be pretty much under control anyways. But I of course do want to track where my money goes and how much I end up spending in a year. Let's just go through all of these categories So first is the no buy category. So obviously in these categories I cannot buy anything. I do have a couple of exceptions to this though, to not make it too simple, but I will explain it once we go. But in this no buy category I do have 3 different makeup categories, and the biggest reason why I am going to be on a no buy in these 3 categories is that I do have pretty good collection of these things, and I do want to work on some of the older stuff before bringing in anything new. So I can see myself being on a no buy with these 3 categories for 1 year, but then for 2022 I will probably set to these categories a limited amount of purchases that I could buy. First category that I'm going to be on a no buy with is bronzer. Bronzer is something that I'm quite picky with, and I am really happy with my current bronzer collection. Also, I do want to work on some of my older bronzers. So to this I do have one exception. If I happen to run out of my The Balm Bahama Mama bronzer, I can repurchase it, but I doubt that I would finish this. This is what my bronzer looks like at the moment, and now that I am my palest, which is like 10 months of the 12 months, I only use a little amount to contour my cheekbone. But even though I do have a good pan in this, I doubt that I could finish this in 1 year, because I use such a little amount of product when I do my contour with this one. But it is my perfect contouring shade, so in case I finish this I can replace it with the same thing. Other than that, I'm going to be on a bronzer no buy. Then another category that I am on a no buy is highlighter. I don't need to get any highlighter. I know a lot of people love highlighter and they love collecting highlighter. I love highlighter too. I really do love my highlight today. I think it looks so cool. I love the way highlighter looks. However, in the end of the day, I think highlighter is one of those things that there's not that many different colors. I do have some golden ones, some champagne ones. This one is more like a cooler, kind of like icy shade. Then I do have some pink ones and a peach one. That's really everything I need. I don't need to have multiple variations of like a golden toned champagne highlighter. I know that is like a really popular highlight shade that almost every brand has. I don't need more than one of those. I really feel I do have all of the highlighter colors at the moment that I really need in my collection, and I don't need to be adding in anything new. I'm also working on a couple of my older highlighters, for example the one I'm wearing today, and I do want to replace it once it's gone with a similar sort of cooler toned color, but I don't think it's realistic for me to finish this one during the next years. Highlighter is also a product that takes forever to go through, so you know, I want to keep my collection really curated there, and I'm going to be on a highlighter no buy. Then the last category that I'm going to be on a no buy on is perfume. To this there is also one exception. If I happen to run out of my The Body Shop Vanilla perfume, I will allow myself to repurchase this. That is how much I do have left, so I do have like maybe a third of the bottle left. I do really love this perfume. It's one of my favorite everyday perfumes. It's especially my everyday favorite in winter. But other than that, I'm going to be on a no buy when it comes to perfume. The reason to this is that I do have pretty nice perfume collection at the moment. I did purchase some new perfumes this year from Eden Perfumes that completely changed the game for me, because finding vegan perfumes can be difficult, but they actually make dupes for popular perfumes that are vegan and natural. So yeah, I got some of their perfumes and they smell amazing, but at the moment I do have 10 perfumes in my collection, and you know, perfume, even though it's not the most quickly expiring product, it's not going to last forever. So I do want to pan a couple of my perfumes next year. I hope I could use them up and move them out of my collection. So then in 2022 I maybe could add a couple of more perfumes in my collection, but right now I feel I'm happy with my perfume collection and I want to work on some of the older stuff. Okay, then let's go through the replacements only category on my low buy. So most of the makeup categories go under this replacements only category. So let me read through what belongs to these replacements only. So complexion products, this means primer, foundation, concealer, powder and setting spray. Brow products, eyeshadow primer, eyeliner, lashes and mascara, lip care, lip liner, makeup brushes and sponges, nail stuff other than nail polish. So this means like a nail polish top coat, nail polish base coat and also nail polish remover, stuff like that. Skincare, body care and hair hairstyling products. So most of the categories go under these replacements only, and I will say that it doesn't mean that I need to use the last drop of the last product that I have in certain category, and this is something where I just need to make it work to my own collection. So I'm going to use foundation as an example here. I do love having 3 different foundations, so I want to have one full coverage foundation that is matte finish, then I want to have one tinted moisturizer for really early mornings, and then I want to have something in between for every day, so something that is kind of like satin finish, medium coverage. So those 3 foundations are staples for me, so I don't need to wait that I have used the last drop of last foundation, because I feel for those 3 I do have purpose for all of them in my makeup collection. So what comes to these replacements only products, I need to be the judge for if it is truly something I need or not. I feel in the beginning of my beauty replacements only no-buy year in 2019, I was too worried that my no-buy would look perfect. And then I feel if I bought a new foundation, for example, I had to explain to you why I am now buying the new foundation even though I do have this another foundation, and I kind of had to justify the purchase. But now I'm kind of like, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I know myself if it is a replacement that I truly need. And I will say with most of these categories, I don't really have any shopping problems anyways. I don't want to buy like new skincare before I have finished the old one. And also all of these categories are something that I just want to find the favorite that I know works for me, and I don't even want to test out new things. So for example with foundation, I do have my Holy Grail foundation. It is the Catrice HD liquid coverage one. So because I know I love it, I don't even want to test out new full coverage foundations. So yeah, I don't think I will be having a problem with these categories. And then there is one more category what comes to my low buy. This is the limited purchases category. So this is where I can have a little bit of fun what comes to purchasing new makeup. I have set to all of these categories the limit how much I can bring in next year. So let's just go through all of these categories. Blushes I can buy 2 next year. I think with this category it doesn't really matter if I buy both of them in the beginning of the year, but there's only 2 I can buy and I already know which 2 those are. I talked about those in the tag video I filmed recently, the blush, blusher, blushed tag. Then eyeshadow purchases I can make 4 next year. So this means either an eyeshadow palette, or if I want to, I can place an order to an indie brand and purchase a bundle of their singles. So a bundle for me would mean probably from 9 to 12 eyeshadows. I decided to go with 4. I was thinking if I should go with 3 or 4, but as I said, eyeshadow palettes is a category that I don't mind growing a little bit. I just want to be really mindful about the ones that I bring in, so that's why I went with 4. And with eyeshadow palettes I cannot just buy all of them now in the beginning of the year, so I split my purchases between seasons. I can buy 1 in winter, 1 in spring, 1 in summer and 1 in fall. But if I decide to not buy any eyeshadows in winter, that's fine too, then I can use that purchase later in the year, but I cannot just buy all of these at once. And then lipstick and lip glosses go into one lip product category, and lip products I can buy 6 next year. I was thinking of going with 12 lipsticks, but in the end of the day I don't think I have that much that's really lacking from my collection. There are a couple of things that I can think of that I feel are really lacking, but I don't think there are that many things and you know, I do want to work on some of my older lip products because some of my lip products, I will say, are pretty old. So yeah, I decided to go with 6 and I can purchase one in every 2 months. And then the last category is nail polish. I decided to allow myself to purchase 4 nail polishes next year. I think with nail polish I could almost like, you know, purchase all of them in the beginning of the year if I so choose. We'll see, but I feel there is a little bit more room to new nail polish in my collection, but I don't want to bring in too much. I'm also doing a project polish for next year. I already started that, but I also feel that with nail polish there's maybe a couple of shades that are actually lacking from my collection that I would want to bring in. But yeah, those were all of the categories. Something that I realized that I haven't written to my rules are beauty services. This is something I have been thinking about quite a bit. I do go to a hairdresser usually in every 3 months and it's something I enjoy doing, but I have also been thinking about maybe getting a lash lift. So I think beauty services is something that, you know, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. At the moment I'm not sure about the lash lift. I tried lash extensions last year, but they didn't work for me. They irritated my eyes quite a bit. But with extensions you need to take care of them like way more often than lash lift. So lash lift wouldn't cost that much money in long run. So I would be interested in trying that. But you know, I don't want to be someone who needs to take beauty services like every month because that is so expensive. But at the same time, I don't mind using beauty services once in a while because, you know, it helps the people working in this small little town where I live in. I do go to a hairdresser in the town that I live in and, you know, I feel good about, you know, supporting local business here. Hairdresser is something that I feel really brings value to me, and I do think that lash lift could bring value to me too because I hate my own lashes. That's why I wear so much false lashes, but I'm not going to, for example, take like acrylics because in my work I cannot be with long nails, and anyways, you know, I'm happy with my nails even though they are shorter. But beauty services I feel is something that I just need to be mindful about the things, but I don't mind using them once in a while. But yeah, those are all of the rules to my low buy year. I hope it's not too confusing, but I had to do something that I feel works for me, and I really think this will work. So for the most part it is going to be replacements only, sort of no buy. Couple of products, couple of categories I am on a complete no buy with, and then with some few selected categories I can have a little bit fun, but I cannot overbuy those things. But that's really everything for today. If you have anything to ask about this low buy, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you on my next one. Bye bye.